Good morning. My name is Tom Fuller. I'm the Communications Manager with the WorkSource Oregon Employment Department, and we are here this morning to release the September 2010 unemployment and employment situation for the state of Oregon. And joining us this morning is Nick Balachik, who is our state employment economist. We are, for those of you who are members of the media, you received instructions on how to submit questions over email. You can feel free to do that. We'll get to as many of the questions that we can. After Nick makes his presentation, then I'll make some brief remarks about the unemployment claims situation here in the state of Oregon. So for now, Nick.
Thank you, Tom, and thank you, everybody. The seasonally adjusted unemployment rate was 10.6% again in September, unchanged from last month, but that is a little bit lower than last September's unemployment rate of 11%. Oregon's unemployment rate has stayed between 10.5 and 10.7% for 11 months in a row. Oregon's situation is similar to the nation's. The national unemployment rate was also steady at 9.6% in September, the same as it was in August. There was a little bit of activity in Oregon's payroll employment. Oregon lost 1,800 jobs in September after adjusting for the state's typical seasonal changes in employment. The bulk of the loss occurred in the government sector, which lost 3,400 jobs. The private sector added roughly 1,600 jobs. The private sector has added jobs in 4 of the last 6 months. Leisure and hospitality added 2,800 jobs, and professional and business services added 1,400 jobs. Other services also added 1,400 jobs. This is a broad group of which about half the employment consists of workers in membership, associations, and organizations. Manufacturing and construction saw large losses in September. Manufacturing cut 2,100 jobs, mostly in semiconductor manufacturing, wood products, and transportation equipment. Construction cut 1,000 jobs, mostly in specialty trade contractors and building construction. Going back to the government employment, government cut 3,400 jobs in September, and most of that was due to the 1,000 temporary federal census workers finishing up their work here in Oregon. The other big change was in local government education, which includes public elementary and high schools. Employment at schools was up in September following the usual hiring pattern for the start of the school year, but there are 2,600 fewer local education jobs than there were last September, a decrease of almost 3%. One additional note, August unemployment figures have been revised down from what was originally reported last month. There were about 1,300 fewer jobs than what had been estimated. The bulk of the revision was in the government sector. That's it for my prepared remarks. I'd be happy to try to answer any questions you might have.
Go ahead, Todd.
Is there a way to put a number on how inward migration is affecting the unemployment rate in Oregon? And does it add a point or more?
Immigration statistics are available annually from Portland State University. The estimates for 2010 are not yet available, so we don't know how many people have moved to Oregon this year. Folks who move here before landing a job or lose their job and stick around for the quality of life do put upward pressure on the unemployment rate, but we don't actually know how much of an effect that has.
And what about people who lose their jobs but refuse to leave Oregon because of the quality of life?
Again, for that, we don't know how much of an effect those folks have on the unemployment rate, but we do know that it keeps upward pressure on it. Thank you, Tom.
Thanks, Nick. Well, all indicators of activity in unemployment insurance are declining. That's actually good news. However, still about 155,000 Oregonians are receiving unemployment benefits currently in the state of Oregon. That's down quite a bit, however, from last year when we had about 167,000 receiving unemployment insurance compensation. We had about 17% fewer initial claims in September, so that's good news, not a lot more layoffs taking place, and 12% fewer than just in this last August. Weeks of benefits claimed by individuals dropped 28% from a year ago, 25% from August, and the number of folks exhausting their regular claim dropped 38% from last September. We have had individuals exhausting, and since the beginning of 2010, about 14,000 Oregonians have exhausted all of their unemployment insurance benefits. So currently right now, there are 154,000 claiming unemployment insurance benefits. That's down from 168,000 in the same week of last year. On the employment picture, in our iMatch Skills, the state's skills and job matching application, we currently have 6,100 openings, and that represents just over 13,000 job openings. Now that's about a 2,000 increase from this same time in August. Just looking at what the top occupations are right now in the state, by industry, we have about 700 openings in office and administrative support, 600 in sales, about 460 in healthcare, 360 in computer and mathematical, and 360 in management. When you look at those top openings by occupation, the top occupations where we have openings right now are retail sales with 178 openings, customer service representatives with 158, also 158 openings for registered nurses, 143 for nursing aides, 120 for truck drivers, 110 for tellers, and just over 100 job openings for supervisors and managers of retail sales workers. So that is my prepared remarks. Do we have any questions that came in about that?
No question.
Okay, very good. That concludes our presentation for this morning. Thank you very much.